Hello everyone, today we have this Genesis 5.0 liter 2015. This is Edward with ECU team, and today we will show you how to check it properly, because this particular model got a slight different fuse box and therefore the testing is also slightly different. So let me show you what needs to be done, okay, and let's get to it. So, a couple of symptoms of a bad ECM. We can hear that the fan is on. The ignition is on, the fan is constantly on. And then when we try to start the car, the starter itself is dead. It's not cranking the car, it's not doing anything. So first thing what we need to do is we need to check out the fuses, and to do that we need to leave the ignition on. Come over to the fuse box, remove the plastic cover, connect the fuse tester, and then go through every single fuse. If you will be inaccurate with it and you will miss out a fuse that's bad, then your car, even with all the replacement parts that you're doing, your car will not start. So you must make a very careful inspection and make sure that all the fuses are good, that none of them are not blown. As you can see, this is an example of a blown fuse. We'll need to take this one out and then replace it. We have another burned fuse. We'll need to take it out and then replace it. So as you can see, all the other fuses are good. Now that we took these out, let's go ahead and we'll put the replacement. Now that we checked out the fuses, we will need to locate the ECU. And the ECU is located on the driver's side under the plastic cover. So we remove the plastic cover and we can see the ECU is right here. So before you remove the connectors, you first want to make sure that you turn off the ignition. Alright, it's turned off. We can hear that even with the turned off ignition, the fan is still working. Like I said, this is one of the indications that the ECU is bad. As you can see, when we removed the connector from the ECU, the fan automatically turned off. Okay, so after we disconnected the battery, let's take away the ECU out of the car. All right, there you go.
Сейчас, они уже откручиваем этот болт.
We'll need the bolt, which is right here. Then we'll need to unscrew this bolt as well. So this is the computer that's inside of this car. Now we will take it out and test it on our bench simulator, and then we'll be able to see if this particular computer is the problem. So this is what the computer looks like, and this is how you separate it from all the other computers. Now we'll go ahead, we'll open this thing up, we'll see what's inside, and then we'll put it on a bench test simulator. Don't forget to also put in the replacement or spare fuses, okay? Because if you don't have working fuses, it will still give you the same exact problem. So we want to avoid that.
All right, I'll call you back. Today's my
So as you can see, the original computer is burned and it's not repairable. So now we will put into this car the replacement computer that's supplied by us. And if you need one, you can find them on the link down below. I'll leave a link for you guys to check it out. Of course, we want to clean out the computer space. I'm not gonna leave it just there. As we can see, it got its own biomes going on down there. So, very important thing, if you have your computer space filled up with some mud, dirt, leaves, make sure you'll clean it up, because on that side you have a special drainage, you know, a special drainage down there that needs to be cleared out, because otherwise you'll have that particular space where there are computers and so on filled up with water. So we want to avoid that. So now after we put the computer back in, before connecting it, you first want to connect back the battery and make sure that it's charged up, because if it's not charged up and then you'll try and start the car, it may give you the same exact problem. So after you connected all of these connectors to the computer, you have to, as the last step, you have to connect the mass. Make sure you got all the grounds set up, all the masses. You see how we got this one connected to the car. Make sure it stays like this, because you do one wrong move and the car will not start. So after we connected everything, number one thing what we notice is that the fan is not working. So we want to check And the reason why it's not working is because it shouldn't work right now. So it's compared to the original one, when everything was connected the same, the fan would constantly be on. Now this is not the case. So now let's try and start the car. So we sit down. There you go. 1, 2, 3. There you go. The car started. Let's check out. Yeah, the throttle. As you can see, throttle works just fine as well. The customer can keep on driving this car. It only got 75,000 miles, but this is a very common problem on these cars. So in case if you got this ECU problem, make sure that you'll get in touch with us, because we will be able to help you out.
LKAS and another one with brakes. I felt very unsafe where if I was driving and I was at a stoplight, I felt like my car was going to surge forward. A couple times, twice, it died at a red light. I had to put my car into park and restart it. And it was acting funny. Like one day it would start up fine. The next day it would have issues. If I turned it off and restarted, it would be fine. So I bring it to the dealership. They tell me it was a crankshaft sensor. Paid money to replace the crankshaft sensor. 10 days later, I get my car back to go to work in the morning. I hit the button, my lights and everything inside comes on, the fan goes on, but the engine doesn't even make a crank noise. I bring it to the dealership. They tell me that I cannot get a computer part. They're discontinued till they don't even know when. I do Google research and found this great ECU team that guaranteed me to take the ride, 45-minute tow and a ride to West Palm Beach and wait here, and they would have my car running. And here she is running. I'm so happy.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so happy.
Let's try and start the car once again.
Oh my God, you guys are like, I'm driving this to the dealership.
Надо, чтобы посмотреть аккумулятор.
There you go. We just need to keep the battery a little bit. The battery is completely dead. We'll keep it charging for a bit, but now the customer can drive the car.